Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC and today I want to bring you another Pew Pew review. I know a lot of you seem to like those. I'm going to try and bust out a couple more over the next couple of weeks, months or whatnot. Um, but on this one, I wanted to do this one for two reasons. One, I want to have some fun and you'll see why here in a minute. And number two, I've been seeing a ton of comments over the past few days making fun of some particular pew pews, if you will. And so I am excited to showcase one of the ones that we're going to do today. And this one is so special that, and this is actually Mrs. Rural's first ever pew pew that she ever owned. Okay. I bought this for her and she still has it and actually still uses it. And we keep it in here. So let me show you why. So when I break this open and I pull this out and set this off to the side, what do we have but a high point? That is right. All right. Okay. Before the internet explodes, drop, completely empty, and just for the sake of everything, there you go. Okay. Completely safe. We're all good, right? All right. Don't freak out. Now, on this particular one here, this is a high point 9mm. This is a model C9. This is a 9mm Luger. Let's see if I can get that in there so you can see it. That's probably about the best it's going to get on that. All right. So into the specifics of this. This is a 3.5-inch barrel. And the overall, this thing, tell you what, this thing has been used and abused, and it still does not even feel broke in. Overall length of this is about 6 3/4 inches, and this thing weighs about 29 ounces. Okay, now for some of you that are not firearms people, it doesn't sound like a lot. This thing is like a daggone brick. Now, I got this for her for a couple of reasons. Number one is because they're cheap. I believe when I bought this, they were running a special to where you got the firearm, you got 2 magazines, and I think you got a box of ammo for like 129 or something like that. Okay. Uh, and I tell you, for this, because they're so heavy, um, the recoil on everything, uh, a lot of the new people seem to like the heavier when it comes to these, and especially the size. It's not that real dainty, real small, real lightweight to where, for whatever reason, a lot of new people really like these bigger and heavier pew pews, if you will. Now, let me go back to the weight on this. Okay, 29 ounces. Now, ever since I got my Ford holster from the Ford Holster Company, I have been carrying around my Taurus. Okay, so I went over to Taurus's website, and this is the G3C. Okay, conceal carry, unloaded. It weighs right close to about 22 ounces. So we'll say 22 to give a fair assessment. 22 ounces. This monstrosity is 29 ounces. And you're going, okay, well, 22 to 29, that's 7 ounces. What's the big deal? So I decided to run over here to Google and go, what is an example of common things that weigh approximately 7 ounces? And I guess not surprised by the internet. Number one is a can of soda. So it would be the equivalent of carrying this and a can of soda on top of it. That's how heavy it is. A small apple, a whole cup of sugar weighs approximately 7 ounces. And then, of course, they had to throw in there that an adult hamster weighs about 7 ounces, but sure, we'll take them for what it is. But 7 ounces is a lot. And we're talking about unloaded. We're not talking about any accessories you snap on, all the ammunition once it's fully loaded. Now, keep in mind, I don't know why High Point does this, but this comes with an 8-round magazine, so it's an 8+1, so it's a 9. They do sell a 10-round, so it would be a 10+1, so you can have an 11 shot. I don't know why High Point makes weird stuff like that, but whatever. Now, this is a black powder coated. You can get them hydro dipped depending on the model. The C series, they really have fun with it. Okay. High Point knows what they're doing. Okay. They're not a Kimber. They're not going to sell a High Point for $1,000. Okay. High Point came in right here, and that's where they want to be. And you can make fun of them for what you will, but they're taking really good advantage of where they are. So they do the hydro dip of the money edition where it's got $100 bills hydro dipped on it. People buy that. Okay. Now they do some camos and some other things, yes, because there's a market for it. But then probably one of the greatest marketing moves that they could have done was they took one and right across they made it and they labeled it the Yeet cannon. Okay. Now, for a lot of us, we're going, that's stupid. That's a dumb idea. And it's a High Point to boot. I get it. But there's a bunch of people out there that have an extra $100 laying around and they want to snicker and go, yo, man, I got a Yeet cannon. It's a smart marketing move. Now, on this, I do give them somewhat credit. If you look at the sights on that, okay, these are actually decent sights for as cheap as it is. This is fully adjustable on the rear sights. Okay, I mean they're giving you a little bit of options on this. The way that this is, it's semi easy to take down. You're definitely not going to lose this. Yes, you have the joke that when you run out of ammo, you throw it at them because you're probably going to do more damage if you hit somebody with this. But I mean, for the price point, it does a job. Do I want my life to depend on this? For me personally, no. I'm not very good with this one. Granted, I've maybe shot 50 rounds out of it total since we've had it. And we've had this thing for years. Okay. She picked this up, and I would say probably 8 to 10 times at the range practicing with it. I took her for her very first time to get her concealed carry, her CCW license. Okay. When we did it, we took the class from the local sheriff that put it on. Okay. So it's a trusted person. We know it's legit, all that. When it was her turn to go and physically do the shooting portion of the CCW, she impressed the sheriff using this on her accuracy. Okay, so you can do it. Is there better options out there? Heck yeah, there is. But this serves a purpose. Okay, uh, and honestly, she has a few other ones. She's got Rugers and different other, pew pews and whatnot. And I tell you, out of all of them, this one right here, if it's in her hands, I am the most scared of if I'm at the other end. She is precision with this thing, and I don't know why. Okay, uh, but again, it is what it is. Uh, if something like this is if that's all that's in your budget, the person on the other end is going to have probably the same effect if you squeeze this trigger or this trigger of a Kimber. Okay, the end result, as long as the functionality works, that trigger is pulled, you get combustion, projectile goes. Okay, we're assuming it all works. It doesn't matter the platform. Now, when you're talking about reliability and accessories and all sorts of things like that, I get it. You can do whatever you want that makes you feel comfortable and justified for your purchase. Trust me, I'm right there with you to a certain extent. I don't I don't own a High Point. Okay, this is her High Point, and she really really likes it, and so I will defend them, especially for the simple fact that we actually had a second High Point, and it did have a failure. We got this High Point used. I didn't buy this one new. We bought it from a friend. I think the second time, third time at the range, it had an internal failure of the spring. Okay, I was going to order the part and do it myself, but somebody told me that High Point has a lifetime warranty, regardless if you're first owner, third owner, whatever. And so I wanted to test that out. So I sent High Point the firearm, and sure enough, they fixed it and sent it back to me. That's impressive to me. Okay, I there is a manufacturer out there that I bought, sent all of my stuff in, and they fought with me about that's a wear or tear item. We don't honor that. High Point didn't ask a question; they fixed it, sent it right back. So I give them credit for what it is. Now, what I find interesting, and I didn't know this until today, when I went to go look up the specs, it says that these are P plus rated. Maybe I'll go test that out. I'm curious if it is. I do like some of the things that they're putting on there. So they're saying that these have high impact grips, and it is a high impact frame. Notice they keep saying high impact because I think they're taking advantage of that joke. You can throw this at somebody. Um, it's got the 3-dot adjustable rear sight. Last round, it'll lock open. I like that feature. Um, there's all sorts of different things, and they really do put on there of lifetime warranty, and I give it its full credit for that. So you like them, you like them. You hate them, you hate them. Nobody says that if you hate them, you have to go buy one. you know, there's multiple ones out there. Uh, Sky is another one. I know that was it Anderson Arms is another one that they're more on the cheaper, more budget friendly level. And I know people give them a bad rap, and I know people will go through and tell you, absolutely don't go buy them. If you are considering it, I would myself, my personal advice, put it in your hand and test it out, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're doing a budget or a medium or a high end, put it in your hands and go spend a little bit of time at the range. Throw a few rounds down and see how it feels, see how it functions. The best thing on this is a lot of these ranges, they have range firearms to use, meaning they're used. And so you get to see what a used one is. Will this hold up? There's been a ton of people doing this with a ton of different grips and stance and different manufacturers of rounds going through them and whatnot. Who knows when the last time they were cleaned and this and that, versus buying it brand new, and it's kind of that new car versus used car. So if you are considering it, I will never tell you on one of these of never get it. Okay, that's not my place. I know a ton of people that are military, that are special ops and different law enforcement, that they have a High Point or something similar. And I mean, it is just it's what it is. It is a functioning firearm that does the job. So, but that's what I got. I can't wait to see the comments because I've seen some of my friends and some other ones do some High Point or other kind of related videos. And usually the comment section goes nuts on it about, they're absolutely junk versus they're okay versus I have 5 versus, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. If you want to, comment section's open. Let me know what you think about it. The only thing I ask is be an adult, okay? If you like it, you like it. If you hate it, you hate it. But be a grown up about it, okay? But that's what I've got for you. I hope you guys had a little bit of enjoyment and fun out of this as I did making it. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me. Made it to this far in the video, you rock. I appreciate you. With that, stay tuned because there's more information to come, and say it with me now. Above everything else, remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.